boys, Adam here from Pause Games, and welcome back to a Planet Coaster 2 video. Now, I know what you're thinking, it has been a long time since I've been sat here and we've done a Planet Coaster 2 video, and quite frankly, to be honest with you all, I've kind of just been waiting for the game to be finished, and there have been a lot of updates that Frontier have put out for Planet Coaster 2 over the past 6 months, which we're going to quickly go through today, and that brings us up to update 6, which does launch today, June the 30th. So we'll get on to that in a moment. But first of all, let's recap what's gone on since January. So in January the 14th of this year, they announced the plan to have a 2025 roadmap, where they kicked off updates 2, 3 and beyond. So in February we got custom billboards, custom speakers, synchronized coasters, some returning flat rides and just general de-theming of some coasters. So then moving into March, the update number 3, we got more varied movement of guest rafts on special pieces, guests were jettisoned off flumes, rounded bottoms, so basically just more realistic approach to slides in the game, which made things much better. Again, more returning rides and some general adjustments. So then we move into April with the update number 4, where we got restaurants added to the game. So these work very similar to the Planet Coaster, Planet Zoo restaurants. They added some more customization options for pool colour and a few other bits and pieces. Again, more rides were added. Then into May, update number 5. We got security guards added to the game, which work similar to Planet Coaster 1, however they work more like lifeguards in this game. Rock and glass colour customisations, a few more of the stock coasters, sort of de-theming those and returning rides. And wall and eave pieces were added from the from the Western theme and the sci-fi theme, because obviously as part of a few of the previous updates, they've been adding new themes in. So in March we've got the Western, in May we've got the sci-fi, and then which brings us to this month in June, we add some more additions. So this month we are at update number 6, June. The update is dropped today, or is dropping today depending when you watch this video, and we've got a lot of stuff to talk about, and we are going to go into the game in a second and I'm going to show you a lot of this stuff. So the main things from June is we now have modular souvenir shops, which are very customizable. I can't wait to show you this in a minute. They've gone to town on these, so you can now set up actual souvenir shops that visually look like souvenir shops. Guests will interact with, guests will use. Brilliant, honestly, it's so good. On-ride photos also very in-depth. You can add a camera, a very customizable camera onto a ride. The position of that really matters. You then connect that to a connected souvenir shop, and you can also use billboards to actually show and display those videos and those photos that update in real time. So I'll show you those in the game in a few moments, because it's very exciting. Loads of new audio options, some more career maps added to Sandbox, another returning ride, and some additional de-theming. But this one also contains 2 previous themes, which is the pirate and the fairy tale theme from Planet Coaster 1. They are also back in this update, as well as a whole host of other changes and fixes. The full change log, there'll be a link in the description that'll take you over to the Planet Coaster 2 website to check all of that out. We're not going to cover everything in this because we'll be here forever. So that is a quick summary of what's happened in the last 6 months and how many updates Frontier have done to this game. Now, like I said previously, just very quickly, I have been waiting pretty much for them to finish these updates before I jump back into the game. I wasn't very happy with the state of the game at launch, and I did want to wait until it was pretty much playable, in my opinion, and I do feel like the game is there now. In my opinion, where the game is at this current state is where it should have been when the game launched. So I now treat this as sort of version 1, and then anything additional from this point onwards is a bonus. So let's jump into the game, let's have a look at update 6, and then let's talk about the future of Planet Coaster 2. Right, so here we are in our test part, which it feels like about 8 years since we've been in this. Anyway, so I've set up a little shop down here, and we're going to have first of all, let's have a little look at the new souvenir shops, which honestly, they're so good. So the way it works is in your scenery, So in our facilities, when we go down to Souvenir Shops, now you have the option for the photo kiosk, which is the one over here, which we'll look at in a moment. But you also have these modular souvenir till shops, which is what I've placed down. So that goes down as any other kiosk would. Then you also have all these options for displays and cabinets and all sorts of stuff. So I've placed a few down in here. A couple of these I've already linked, but I'll show you that process in a second. And basically everything you see on these shelves and in these baskets and on these items has all been generated by the game, depending on what options I've chosen. So let me show you how it works. So let's jump into this shop, and you can see there's vacant shelves and loads of purchasable items. You can add shelves to it initially, or you can just build your own and then go to this little connection tab. So let's say we want to connect some existing shelving. We've got this one here, there's a balloon stand down there, a couple of these shelves here, let's add those in, this ring stand, and then confirm, and there you go, hey presto, auto generates the stock. So all the stuff that we used to fake in the game, like these ring things, it's just done, it's just there. And you've got a lovely mug shelf and these board games. I don't know if they're like sweets or chocolates or biscuits or something, I don't know. Postcards, balloons, it's so good. And then you might think, oh, that's nice, just everything's just there. But then you can customize these things even more, because you go into the catalogue and then you can sort of select all the bits and pieces that you want. So you can sort of take off jigsaws, or you can add them on. You can take everything off when people still buy stuff, or you can add it all on, and it just generates new stuff, and you can have so much control with what you want to sort of add in and play with. It's very, very, very good. And then I'm hoping some guests will come in here at some point, but this park's not very full. But guests will come in, they will look at the stuff, they'll pick it up, they'll walk over to the shop, they'll buy it. It works so well, and it is so well customizable, I guess, to the point where it's even more in depth than I think it should be, if I'm being honest. But yeah, no, great. So right, let's go into even more in depth. So you come onto a specific shop shelf, and then this is where you can sort of choose what exactly you want on it. So let's figure out what this one is. Panico's hat, this one it'll be. So let's say you want to take off those hats and those hats and just have it all one colour, or you add in the Viking ones, add in the mythical. So you see what I mean? You've got a lot of customisable options, and then you can change it to whatever you want. So let's say we want to go for mugs. Again, you can pick and choose which ones you want. You can have all the same ones, and it's just so customisable. I love it. One thing I do want to double check, actually, I believe every single one of these individual items is also in scenery. So let's have a look. Let's test it with Mug Mythological. Let's see if that's in here. Mug. There we go. They are indeed. So let's say we want to fill the shelf even more to make it look a bit more full and a bit more used. You can add some more bits to it. What a treat. There you go. So pretty much everything in the game, I believe, or everything in these shops, is also in the scenery items. So then you can just go to town on really filling out these. Because like these shelves are pretty bleak because there's only one thing on them. And same with the sort of themed hats. So you can just go mad with it. Just put loads of stuff on there. So really happy with the Souvenir Shops. I mean, that's an excellent way of adding such a quick bit of sort of visual to the game, and also kinetics, because the guests are actually going to use this stuff, so that's really cool. Right, let's talk about photo shops. So very similar, you've got a little photo kiosk here that you can plonk down. I've added some screens in, but let's go through that process. So let's connect a ride to it. Let's go for this guy over here, confirm. Right, so we need to add a ride photo camera to the Mind Bender. So if we add a camera here, you can basically see the EFN, so excitement, fear and nausea scores come up on a little chart, and this is basically going to tell us what bit of the ride is more suitable for adding in this camera. So like this point here, you can see that everything's in the green, so I think we had it there. Continue. So this point, it gives us this really cool camera point where we basically I don't know why it's at the back though, that seems a bit strange. Where you can basically customise the view for each row. Why is it at the back? I think we need to. I think we try that again because that's taking it behind the behind the photo. So let's try and move that again if we can. It's taking it at the backwards of the. Well, we'll test it. Yeah, look, it's taking it behind. There we go. Right. For whatever reason, it was adding it to the back, but that's fine. We can deal with that. So what it puts down is this very generic looking camera, which you could easily add in a little support to hold it up. I mean, I've put it in quite a weird area. In real world, you wouldn't have it this high because it needs to be managed and serviceable. But for the purposes of this test, there we go. It takes it per car, so you can see where the photo would be for each car. So we really need to make it a bit higher, so you can get each car in like that. Okay, so for now, that'll do. That'll work. Let's just go for that. So where these are located within the menu is a new add-on tab here. So this is where you have your photo kiosks, well, camera placement, and also where your ride syncs would now be. Let's just get this test in. Okay, so it takes the photos, it flashes, and that hopefully should work. There's some guests on there now. So let's have a look back and see if we can make this work at the gift shop. Right, so head into our screen, change the image, go to our coaster, and there we go, we have Minder. So on the big screen, we're going to add on the 4 split screen, but what you can do is have every individual car that gets added on there. So let's have that, and this is updated in real time as well. Every time that photo is taken on that ride, it updates live. So for example, you could do that. On this one, you have car 1. This one, you could have car 2. And realistically, you'd want 5 of these, but just for purposes of this video, there you go, my car 3. Now, how cool is that as a concept? It's unbelievable. So there you go. This is live. It's live, like it updates. So every time that coaster goes round and it takes new photos, these will update on the screen. I think that's amazing. It's so easy as well, so well done. And you don't even have to link these billboards to this shop. That you just select them. So in theory, you could have these ride photos anywhere in your park. You could build like a little photo studio at your park entrance and have like all the screens from all the rides in one building. And I think that is a great idea. I really do. So if we can have a look, is it going round? Hopefully it's going round. We'll take more photos. I have put the price to like barely anything, so hopefully it'll take some more. We move time on. I just want to see it update in real time. Yeah, for whatever reason, no one's riding the ride, but there we go. That's how you set it up with the photos. I think that's brilliant. Honestly, these 2 additions are excellent, really well customizable, and a great addition. And just think of the flexibility you can do with this. Really, really good. So that is the 2 main things I wanted to show you from this update. Massive thank you to Frontier for letting me have early access to this. They have sent me early access to all the other updates, but obviously we haven't done videos on those. Like I said in the intro, I have been waiting for the game to kind of be at a level where I'm happy with it, rather than just throwing out loads of random videos. I know that would have been good for the algorithm, but you know what? I wanted to make sure the game was ready before I carried on playing it. So where does that take us into the future? So there was a Frontier Unlocked live stream recently where they obviously showed off this update and talked about the update 6 and all the previous ones, and it has become very clear that there are no immediate plans for any future updates. So next month and beyond, there are not going to be any more free updates. It feels like this sort of series of 6 updates monthly has come to an end. I'm not massively against that. I mean, we are at the stage now where the game is pretty much finished, in my opinion, like I mentioned a few times. So, if we look back to Planet Coaster 1 and the way Frontier sort of approach updates and DLC, what I expect to probably happen in a couple of months is we start seeing maybe every 3 months or every couple of months, we're probably going to see a paid DLC and a free update come side by side. Whether that paid DLC will be a theming pack or a ride pack, that'll be to be seen in the future. I hope they go down the theming pack route like we got in the Planet Coaster 1 game, because they felt a bit more meaty as an update. But we'll see what happens. And then alongside that, there'll probably be a free update with maybe one feature and a couple of bug fixes. That's generally what happened in Planet Coaster 1. They've basically said, give us a few months, we're still working on the game, we'll see what happens. My hypothesis here, and if I'm putting my little let's have a guess hat on, I would imagine around September is when we might have the next update, and I would expect a DLC to come, and my guess for the free update would be the return of the Spooky Pack. Now, this is complete speculation on my part. I have no information from Frontier. That's just what I imagine would happen. When you think about all the other free updates that have happened over that six months and the themes that have come through, Spooky is one that is still missing, so it makes sense to bring that back around Halloween sort of time. Now, like I said, I might be completely wrong. There might not be an update till next year. I don't know. But that's what my guess would be. However, now I'm back in the game, back on the channel, I will keep you updated if and when we hear any other bits and pieces. That's what I think may happen in the next few months. In terms of the game then, am I going to carry on playing it? I think I will. So I did sit back down in the game a couple of times over the last couple of months to try and play, and there's not been much enthusiasm there. Now I've got stuff in the game like this with the photo shops and the souvenir shops, I feel like I can do some fun things. So yes, I probably will come back into the game, and content will probably come back on the channel soon. I'm not going to make any promises, and I'm not going to sit here and say it's going to be weekly, daily, anything like that, because I just physically do not have the time. But I will try my best to get some content out for you very, very soon. If not, we will continue to follow the updates down the line. Now I feel like the game is in a really good state. So apologies I've not been here for the last couple of months, but like I said, I've just been waiting for this update basically to sort of come back in, have a look at it, and actually start enjoying the game again. There are some really good features to this, and it's about time we got back in and had a play. So thank you for watching, thank you for coming back, and thank you for your patience, and let's make some nice things in Planet Coaster 2, that'd be great if we could. Let me know your comments down below. What do you think to this update? What do you think to the current state of the game? And what do you think will happen in the future with regards to DLCs and updates? I'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop them down below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give us a like. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. I know it doesn't seem like it over the last couple of months, but I will post more stuff, I promise. So if you do like this sort of thing, please subscribe. Right, that's it from me today. I will see you soon. Promise I will see you soon. That one I can promise you. But thank you ever so much, guys. See you in the next one. Bye.